Tell me when you're ready.
Okay, ready.
All right. Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining us. My name is Kyla Ahmad, and I have the honor of presenting a powerful brother. Dennis Mott Jr. hails from sunny California by way of Chicago. Dennis was trained to be a leader by his mother and father from elementary school through high school in academics and sports. His training continued into Marine Corps combat. Dennis had a career in the car business. He climbed up the corporate ladder from salesman to finance manager. Currently, Dennis is an entrepreneur. He is a world traveler. He has a travel business where he organizes trips and tours in the US and abroad. He's a skilled photographer, which shows in the many pictures he takes of family, friends, and his adventures at home and during travel. Dennis encourages Black people to come together to buy from Black-owned businesses by marketing great products from those businesses. Dennis is a loving son, big brother, and father to his 3 beautiful daughters and grandchildren. Dennis loves Black people and is unapologetically Black. He loves sharing information that uplifts people on cultural and economic levels. Brothers and sisters, I present to you Dennis Mott Jr.
All right, thank you very much, Kai. I appreciate that. Thank you for introducing me. I really like that a lot. You know, we got to get better at that. We get doing good. So just want to go ahead and let you see some of these pictures I had out here. First of all, let's get this down. And okay, let's go and we'll get this up here. Here we go. Give me a sec. There we go. All right. So take a little second, but it's a lot of little things that we have here that, wow, that was just a lot of stuff going from beginning to end on marketing. And I hope you guys had learned something, that you picked something up out of all that, but the marketing, how it hurt our community. And then we can see how we can evolve out of that as well. I just want to thank you all for taking the time out on the Sunday afternoon. I know it's a lot of people out there that watch football and so many other sports, but we are here right now enlightening ourselves with our community and seeing our people on what they've done. And we've seen all of Africa. You see the beauty of it. You've seen what they want us to believe. And I wonder what's taking a little while, but we're going to keep going and show you what we have here. That's a lot here. We've seen with the propaganda, the marketing, all these things that were out there that are really not true. And as I said, propaganda is not a truth. And a lot of people out there do believe that it is the truth. And that's what has stopped us from going a lot of places that we want to go. Also stopped us from doing a lot of things that we want to do. This doesn't come up. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward this thing. All right, there we go. There's myself. And I just have a couple of slides I wanted you guys to see. Every African American I know has 2 faces. There's the face that we have for ourselves and a face we put on for white America for the places we have to get to. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that, but you know, we have to change that narrative as well, because we can get there without their permission, as we've seen. Take a pledge, dear Black business owner. I will pay your worth and not ask for a discount. I will compliment your quality service products by referring others. I will not question your integrity practices if I don't question others. I will not complain to others before giving you an opportunity to remedy the situation. Sincerely, a Black, true Black patron. That's what we need to do in our Black businesses. Because so often we always are skeptical on a lot, but we can change that narrative as well. I love this one. Mental slavery is the worst form of slavery. It gives you the illusion of freedom, makes you trust, love, and defend your oppressor while making an enemy of those who are trying to free you or open your eyes. That is deep. I want you to sit and marinate on that for a second. Just think about that. When you awaken the sleeping warrior within you, no longer fear the enemy, for you realize that you can only kill the body, but not the soul. When I tell people I don't mess with white women, it's not because I hate them or I'm a racist, it's because I'm nation building. I love Black women, and only a beautiful Black queen can be by my side. Most men need to take that into consideration, and also the opposite end with the women as well. If we were, as a people, realize the greatness from which we came, we would be less likely to disrespect ourselves, as we see as Brother Marcus Garvey has said right there. Love this one too. People would get mad at you for speaking the truth rather than being mad at the people who lied. I think we got a lot out of it. If you watch that seminar right there we just got from Debbie Wilson Debriano, we all see that as well. The job of the conscious is to make the unconscious conscious. And that's what we're here today to do. We're going to have dialogue and open it up for everyone to speak as well. We want to thank you, all of our Black people around the world. Thank you very much. Our people have to be re-educated to the importance of supporting Black business. Malcolm X, understand these are our ancestors, our warriors here. Brother Martin Luther King. We've got to strengthen Black institutions, build our own schools, our own facilities, our own colleges. Everything, we have to strengthen our Black institution, businesses and all. Teach them to have pride in their race. Teach your Black children to buy Black. That's right. We have to start with our youth, our grandkids, our children, our great-grandchildren, and so on and so forth. Let them know that they are a proud race and we have a rich history and culture. As a CEO, as a Black CEO, I am unapologetic, as Kai said, about the unique distinction that I represent in the marketplace. And this is what I'm saying right here. Our youth, our people who are going to school, getting this education, as they talked about that as well, but we still have to educate ourselves about ourselves, learn about who we are versus going to get the education that the so-called dominant society has taught to us. That means we become Black, white people, if you know what I'm saying. And this is another thing. It's crazy how some people feel that 2 to 5 years in a business is a long time to get rich. However, don't feel that 40 years at a job is a long time to stay broke. Change your mindset. We have to create, become entrepreneurs. And everybody can't be an entrepreneur, but we have to start as a whole to get more of them out there so we can hire our own people as well. The comeback is always greater than the setback. I understand that totally. So we're on a comeback. It's better than a setback. We had a setback with slavery, but now we're coming back and we're going to show the world how this should be done. Okay, this was a little, so don't take it all the way, but listen, we were first humans and we've been on this planet for over 4 million years. Christianity comes along, kills everyone, steals our land, copies our philosophies, and makes a book called the Bible, then tell us we're all going to hell. How marketing hurt the Black community, which we're watching right now. Better to die fighting for freedom than to be a prisoner all the days of your life. Bob Marley. And here's Mr. Mansa Musa, the richest man on the earth, $400 billion. No one has ever had as much money or gold. And this is actually the reason why the Europeans came over to Africa to come into Africa, because of his richness and how good of a heart he had as well for the people. We had no problems before chattel slavery. True friends are like stars. You can only recognize them when it's dark around you. So that, with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the lines again. Here we go, folks. All right, anybody wanna tell me what they got out of that? Anybody wanna unmute themselves? Anyone out there? Go ahead, it's your floor. Or you want me to call on? I know we just got through watching some powerful stuff here. So.
Hello.
Hey.
Okay, Nadra, I hear you.
I think this is one of the most powerful showings I have ever seen. I've seen it before. It looks like maybe she reworked it a little bit, maybe not, but the message is the same. And in my 3 times being in Africa, I can attest to that it's not what they show us. And it makes a difference in your perspective of the world when you get it. For example, my first time in Africa was in 1969. So at 13 years of age, I began to gather a whole different sense of self. And I had the opportunity to also go to Europe. And so that whole just being in the place where you hear people talk about, and when they start talking the nonsense about who we are and where we came from and what it's like and all that, I never got caught up in that. But so many of us have never had the opportunity and are so afraid to consider the possibility that it's not as they're being taught. That I thank you again for having the courage, the strength, the wisdom, and the know-how to put this together and to continue to bring these kinds of messages to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nadia. You are so correct. The marketing, the propaganda that they put out there was so phenomenal. You know, they're still in our minds to this day. And I like that Debbie was like straightforward saying what she said. And we've been blinded. You know, they said the propaganda is a repeat of a lie over and over again. And they love to lie to us and get us thinking, even with the pandemic and the coronavirus, you know, everybody's scared and fear and afraid of this. You know, I always say, you know, with the art of war, they have you focused on one thing, but they're actually doing another. And that's the magic of what they've done. They have the masters of double talk. And just to see how beautiful Africa is, and you saw the propaganda that they put out there, all that stuff. So I'm just going to be quiet for a minute. I know what I saw. I just want to hear what you guys have to say. I saw Kai, you had unmuted yourself for a second. Are you still there?
Hey, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, peace and blessings. So, you know, what I really enjoyed the most out of this was the last part where they showed what Africa looks like. You know, I even started like dancing a little bit when I heard the music. And what really struck a chord with me is like listening to the music. You could kind of hear a few little tones of like when you listen to Haitian music or different music from the different, you know, the Caribbean. And, you know, people make us think that we're different, even though we're all one people. So I just really enjoyed hearing someone say that, yes, we are the same, but look at how beautiful it is. You know, I know sometimes I joke with people about like when we were kids, and sometimes, you know, we would say like really ignorant things, you know, like, oh, I ain't no African booty scratcher and all of these crazy things because of what people put out there, the propaganda that made it seem like it was a bad thing. But now you know, I love embracing my culture and wearing my cultural clothing and jewelry and even, you know, wearing my cultural hair, you know. So I just love it. So thank you for sharing this with us. Back to you.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. And it is beautiful to have the confidence and the knowledge to know, as Brother Malcolm X, not in this one, but he says, who taught you to hate your nose, to hate the color of your skin, your lips, your body, your hair? They taught us how to hate ourselves. So now, you know, we have to come back, and because we were centered, they decentered us. Now we have to get recentered again and find out more about our culture, find out more about us, period. Because, you know, like I said, you can't hide the truth. The truth, they've tried to bury it. Only the best of the best could have made it through all the things that we've been through. And we're here to this day as testimonial as to how we outdid that propaganda with cooking people and we eating people. No, we have never done that. That has never been in our nature, coming from the Caucasus Mountains over in Europe, maybe, but not here with our culture. We had land, Africa, lots of food for plenty, growing, everything grows in Africa, where in Europe they did not. So, you know, it's the branding in our minds. As she said, the branding, they branded a lot of things in our mind. That's just like the picture they put up there, you know, how we're poor and they're rich, the Brady Bunch and Good Times. Wow, that was just, wow, you know, the branding. You can see a McDonald's sign, you see the Black Power fist, you see all these images, and they're branding it into our minds. And you know, the Bible, you know, they brought out there, you know, I hate to bring up religion. I don't really like to talk about it too much, but it was here on this in this thing with the Bible. The Caucasians used white supremacy from the Bible because they couldn't do it consciously because it's not inhumane. It's inhumane to do that. So they want to make us less than an animal. So now they're saving us. We're better off out of Africa with some clothes. We run around with no clothes and acting like heathens. No, they were the ones. But then they want to bring us here, and they took all of our intellect. They knew how smart we were to work for them and build this whole country. Let me be quiet. Let me stop. Let me hear what you guys have to say. Who wants to go next? Because I can go on. This is about you, not me. So who wants to open up the line? Who wants to unmute yourself? Go ahead. Let's hear what you have to say. Anyone out? Don't be shy. You just unmute yourself. Unmute. Okay, let me start calling on people. Okay, Shuna, you out there, Shuna?
Yeah, I was trying to unmute myself.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
Hey, everybody. That was very, very interesting. And it was a lot of information about how they use certain things to, like, marketing to lie to us and keep us in darkness. And, and I've heard people say that, oh, there's no way they can just deceive a whole race of people, Well, look at what's happening right now. I keep saying that, what's happening right now, and it's not just here in the States, it's all over the world, and they're deceiving us. If it was so bad, then why would they send a rocket to the moon in the middle of a pandemic that they don't even know exactly what's going on? They're still trying to figure it out. But it's, so bad. They making us think it's so bad. We can't even talk to each other or be in close proximity to each other, but they can send a rocket to the moon. So what are they sending the disease to the moon to affect whoever's there? You gotta make sure everybody get it. So grandbaby, she trying to give her little part, throw her little part in there. So we have to wake up. This is good for us to wake up and realize what's going on. We can't just take this as just some getting together on Sunday and we watching a movie and talking about the movie. No, this is our reality, and we have to really accept it and take it as that, and then do something about it. Really get together, really stick together for real. And we have to learn how to trust each other and get past because distrust is part of the trickery, to get us, to turn us against each other. So we have to get back, even with our families. There's a lot of brokenness in our families. We have to, that's the start with our families, get our families back together. This pandemic, have people not talking to each other, not calling each other. Call your family. Don't let this stop you from calling your family. That's what I was talking about this morning. Don't let this stop you from calling your family, talking to your sisters and brothers. Get family Zooms, just like we're doing this Zoom. You could do a family Zoom, but we got to start somewhere and make this happen. And it has to start right now. It has to start right now, because if it don't start, if people don't wake up and during this pandemic, it's going to be really, really, really hard to wake them up after, because they will have accepted the lie of the pandemic. Everything would have just went over their head. You know what I mean? So that's my part, because I can talk all day, all night about this.
That's all right. That's what we're here for. But thank you very much, Shuna. I really appreciate that. And she's right. They're sending people to the moon. They got colonies up there. We don't even know what's going on. They got 7 other planets out there like Earth, but we're still sitting here listening to the propaganda they're putting out there about the virus and all these other things. But we have to be smarter than that. We have to look at what's going on. As I said, as Kai said about the African booty scratcher, and Debbie was talking about the nigger thing and how they want to say they can do that. They had, as we said, they showed on there Nigger Joe's, what is it, tar soap. This is all the things that they have put in place, and we were buying into it, spending our money with it. We need to start spending our money with each other. As they said in the video, economic power, economic pride. We have to spend our economic base. We have to have an economic base for our people, so we can go ahead and make this world a better place. And we're the only ones that's going to be able to do it through us. Okay, anybody else want to say anything while we're there? think Nadra.
This is Nadra again.
Okay, go ahead, Nadra.
Thank you, Shuna, for mentioning us being in touch with our family. I'm actually in the middle. I chose to be on this call instead of being on the family call, but we are doing a family reunion Thursday, Friday, today, and tomorrow. And we've been going pretty much like 10 hours a day. And I've met 40 new family members. And I was really proud. One of the things that was asked when we started was that everyone shared their phone numbers, their information, their websites, so that we can buy from each other and we can keep it in the family and keep it in the race. And it's amazing what you can do on Zoom and all these other social media platforms. And I think of the travel business as well, and just being able to get people out there in the world to experience what's going on. And especially just for our own mindsets to be able to experience it potentially before they continue to make it harder. I mean, like, I don't know what this whole vaccination thing is about. We know it's not anything good for us. But I'm saying to take action every single time you can, as fast as you can, as big as you can, and absolutely to stay in touch with each other, which is why this platform is so important on Sunday afternoons. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you, Nadra. I really appreciate that. Knowing her background, not wanting to deal with any technology, I'm really surprised. Way to go, Nadra, because it brings you closer together. People, as she said, 40 people in families, she probably wouldn't have known, but now technology can bring us together. It just makes the world a lot smaller and we can communicate a lot better. I travel all over the world. And, when I see my people not having any technology and they look at it as this a curse or something, I'm like, man, use it to what is good. Don't use it for what's bad. Use it for what's good. Connect to one another. It says, love thy neighbor. It takes a child to, it takes a village to raise a child, right? What Nadra was just talking about. A lot of people getting together. But if you didn't have that technology, you might have never even talked to that person. You didn't have a number. You didn't have anything. Go ahead and now make this a communication base. Let's build our businesses. Let's build our economic wealth. Let's build an empire, our nation. Let's do that together. I was listening to something else that said our kingdom. A lot of kingdoms are built into a nation. So we have to do that to move forward and be able to go ahead and compound. And we were reading something about the magic of compound recruiting. So we can do this and make things go on a smoother level, get bigger, each one teach one, and pass it on. So does anyone else want to unmute themselves, or I'm gonna call you out one or the other? Okay, I'm waiting. All right, let's go to, I don't know who Orchard's iPhone is. Orchard's iPhone, can you unmute yourself? Orchard's iPhone. Asking to unmute Orchard's iPhone. Maybe you don't know how. Let's see. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead to Angela. Angela, can you unmute yourself? Angela. Oh, Orchard's iPhone. Angela.
Yes.
Yes. What did you get out of what you just saw today?
It was fabulous, enlightening, and brought tears to my eyes. And I am becoming woke. I'm just learning a lot every day. And thank you very much.
Okay, well, thank you for even, being here, and we appreciate your presence. And if it's making you become awoke, it's something that's good, because if it brought tears to your eyes, we understand the pain that it can cause, but at the same time, the truth hurts, but the truth will set you free. So I want to thank you for even getting on the line and watching this, because it is something to enlighten us and open up our minds and go on a broader spectrum to get out there and see what's really going on and see how great of a history we have. So let's thank you very much. I see Orchard's iPhone.
Hi,
Hello.
iPhone. This is Elizabeth.
Hey, Elizabeth, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been a little while since I could get on. But anyway, I had several other things going on about the same time, which was good because I'm really taking advantage of this the electronics now and doing the Zooms and all of that, and so many things are going on. But first, thank you so very much for presenting this as you continuously present, and I certainly appreciate that. And there's just so much. I haven't been to Africa, having my daughter spent 1 year there, her junior year in college. But anyway, I haven't been. One of my places to go, of course, on my bucket list, but just seeing the exposure, the history itself, and then showing the things that are going on. You know, we're always seeing the hungry babies and that kind of thing is what we're seeing on TV and that kind of thing. But just to see that there's so much going on in Africa itself. I know they've got the what is it Nollywood in Nigeria and all that. They are very up and coming, doing lots of things. But anyway, and what somebody said in reference to the family thing. I mean, this is our family from, you know, from our history. So the family from that standpoint and seeing what they do have done and are doing, but also in reference to making us think in terms of keeping our immediate families together and using the electronics that we have to do that. So I like what somebody said in terms of the family reunion, just a great thing. And of course, I have been continuously calling relatives and all that I wouldn't have done and haven't kept up with. We didn't have a reunion, but because of this, I'm going online and looking at their phone numbers and all. And on Messenger, getting some numbers that I hadn't seen and just calling them. And it's just so great in terms of being in touch with our people. So whether it's immediate family or others, I do have a couple of African friends too, who is sharing with me in reference to the virus, of course, that these people are doing very, very well. I mean, think of the USA and we know what's going on here, that we are the worst, or one of the worst in reference to what's going on, and just looking at other parts of the world. And I was just hearing from my friends that their families and all in Africa working with the virus very well. But anyway, thanks to you again, and let's stay in touch with our people, our families, and of course, make sure that we vote. That is key. I'm just thinking of that as I'm speaking here. So thanks very much again. It was just great being on and sharing with and seeing all the material that you brought to us today. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Elizabeth. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Your wealth of knowledge, I really appreciate it. Nobody knows I met her out in Woodstock, New York, just walking around one day. So we still communicate. That's right. We keep it together, keeping our people together and rising together and keeping our minds set. And I just like that you're keeping in touch with your families. And this is a time where we should be communicating. We should be catching up, you know, because now we have a chance to actually slow down and smell the flowers, as you say. We can sit down and enjoy it and look at people and really understand what, instead of the hustle and bustle and everything else, you know, we can sit back and breathe a little bit and go out and talk to our people, let them know that we are here for them and we want to inspire them to be better. So thank you very much, Elizabeth. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go back to the film right quick. And they talked about this white historian who says that there is no African history. And that was in 1963. Wow, that's amazing. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that they were putting into our heads, and they're still putting into our heads currently, that they have the audacity to say that we have no history in Africa, when Africa taught all of them how to do those, how to be free, how to read, how to write, mathematics, language. We taught that to the world. So, you know, it's just amazing how they try to brainwash us and do the opposite thing. And they say with the education that they've given us, they still say we can't get a job. You know, we can have a PhD, but how many 50 million people are out of work? But back when we were free from slavery, we had skills, so they needed us to work. Now they've got us to where, okay, get this degree, but what can you do with the degree? I'm not saying that it's wrong to have a degree, it's good to have it, but what are you going to do with it? Back in the day, we had skills and we could do things. We could manufacture, we made up the cotton gin, stoplight. We were creative, and we're still creative today, except for we've been kind of brainwashed to think otherwise. And it says, hey, if you guys, like the lady saying that, if well, they got us so hard as far as education, we should go to the moon, come back, and maybe we'll think about you being on the same platform. They talked about even Obama, you know, with the education thing. They still, him and his wife had a PhD, but they never talked about his dad having a PhD. We know about his white mother, but we know nothing about his father, who had a degree, a doctorate, a doctor's degree, and we know really not. That was probably a bad guy, from what I understand, you know. But he was African, so you know, when you mix it up, you're still going to be on the other side. So let's see, anybody else out there who's there 000, there 000. Can you unmute yourself? Since you're there, unmute yourself if you can. Just push the button up there where your mic says, and you can join in. There 000. Don't be afraid. Just unmute yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead to Latricia. Latricia, go ahead. Can you unmute yourself? Are you there?
Hello.
Hello, there you go.
How's everybody doing today?
We're great. We're great. Thank you for joining us today.
No, thank you, Dennis. I thank you for your wisdom, your persistence, and showing us as a Black people what we have. You know, I want to say a woman's work is never done. I'm in between doing laundry and cleaning my refrigerator, but I had to stop for two things. I remember when I used to watch the Brady Bunch when I was a little girl, and also the other show. You know, it was very entertaining, but I didn't realize, like the lady said, if you look at the difference, the white people were surviving with six children and one income, whereas us as Black people, they had three children and very little income, and it never dawned on me until she presented that. You know, I was just watching it because I just liked the show, but she made a valid point there. And we still in that predicament where the white people, for the most part, are surviving, you know, and we as Black people, for the most part, are still struggling. Being with that said, I was at my niece's house yesterday, and we had our Super Saturday for our Church 365, and I was trying to get her to look at it, and I had them sign up for my vortex. Oh, I don't want to be a part of that. And I said, really? You know, but I said, okay, you don't have to be a part of it, but I'd appreciate if you could sign up for my vortex. But in the meantime, you still want to travel. And if not for anything else, to save money. You don't have to do the business part, but you're going to do it anyway. So if you're going to do it, you might as well own it, you know. So I was going to go with her to do her Uber delivery, because that's what she's doing now. And I wanted to give out my business card. She says, oh, well, you can't do that. I said, okay, not fine. So then her friend came, and I was just talking to him a bit, and I, you know, gave my business card. So I asked him, would he be able to give me his number? OT, he let him think about it. I said, how could he think about something he ain't never seen yet? He ain't seen the presentation. So what is he thinking about? You know, you forget that when you put in to go on vacations or trips, or whether you don't know it or not, the gratuity is already built in. The commission is built in. Somebody's going to get paid. They're not doing it for free. So whether you do it through somebody else or me, you still paying a commission to somebody else. And see, what people don't realize is that you're helping somebody else. Why not help your own? We so geared not to help each other that we think we're going to get too far ahead. Why be afraid of it? You know, why not do it for yourself? Why not do it for your family? You got kids, leave a legend for them. You know, why let them work so hard? You know, I've worked almost 40 years of my life. At 51, I had a massive heart attack. I was working for the city of New York as a supervisor, 4 months shy of my 20 years. And I laid in that bed and I said, I am done. Because it was wear and tear on my car. It was wear and tear on my body. I wasn't spending time with my kids. They needed me here. Then I started having grandchildren, but I'm helping somebody else, but my home need help first. So I said, you know what? I'm done. I didn't know how I was going to make it, what was going to happen. I have mortgage to pay, gas, electric, water bill, car payment, but God kept me going. He kept me here for a reason. I enjoy spending time with my grandchildren, with my children, having the freedom to do what I want and when I want. So I'm blessed for that. And then I met new people. I met you, Dennis. I met other people with Surge 365 who's more of my family than my own family is. A lot of people who I have in my own group are not even my family. They're other people. And then the second reason why I had to stop, because you're right, they don't show us what's going on in Africa. They show us that, oh, could you make, give some money to help the people who's sick, the people who's in need. I was so impressed on the picture she showed in Africa. I'm ready to go today if I could, okay, and spend 2 weeks there. And I know I'm going to get there with the help of Surge 365, who are giving us a free vacation at the end of our anniversary. And I'm going to take use of that. And I'm going to travel, okay? I was traveling before I got into the business. I would travel with my kids, my grandkids, because I want them to see there's another place in the world that's just around the block and down the corner. I want them to get out there. I don't mind buying toys for Christmas, but toys is going to break after a while. They're not going to have that memory. The memory they're going to have is with vacations and enjoyment. My grandson asks me all the time, Grandma, where are we going? I want to go as a family. I want to do it again. I enjoy going out, and I said, we're going to do it, but right now we're in a pandemic. So we have to do little by little. But that's my take on life right now. And I'm trying to just live my life, help my younger son out, because this is his last year in high school, hopefully, and, help my son a little bit with his kids. But it's time for mama to get up and go. And that's just what I'm going to do. Back to you, Dennis. Thank you.
All right. You said a lot. Woo. Hey, thank you very much for giving us that insight and exposing yourself and being very transparent like that. That's amazing. I'm glad your health is back intact. So it's a struggle every day, but I understand it. Now, you have to look out for yourself first. If you're not taking care of your health, nothing else is going to matter. So if you can't keep yourself healthy, as Nadra would say, I always say health, wealth, and knowledge of yourself. And as you're getting the knowledge of yourself right here, you see what's going on. And I do understand with our people, sometimes it's the crabs in the barrel mentality. But like Debbie said in the video, we don't need everybody. We just need a few. We don't want all of them. All of them ain't good. We get a few to do it, and the rest will follow. We be the leaders and be pathfinders, and everyone else will follow in suit. And I want to thank you. Hey, you go around the world and travel. You're correct. You should travel. Go out and see things. Live your lives. The pandemic is here, but it doesn't stop. That's one of those propaganda things that we really don't know how it is or what it is. Really, how many people? They say they stop talking about heart attack. They stop talking about cancer. I mean, I'm not saying it totally stopped, but it's not like it was before. Now it's what do they call it? A pre-existing condition. And that probably has to do with coronavirus. But anyway, thank you for everything you said. And I'm glad that you were able to take something out of here and put it in and internalize it and then want to go to Africa. It is a beautiful place. Go see Seychelles, go to Senegal, go to Zaire, Zimbabwe. There's so many places over there. I mean, it's the biggest continent in the world. So they've got us thinking that we shouldn't go, and it can fit the whole world almost inside of that one continent. But I thank you again for joining us. And I really appreciate it. And I just appreciate all of you guys for joining us, because this is information that you don't get on a daily basis. We don't get this in the schools. You go to school your whole life and never heard anything. That's why I think I know we're being miseducated. And that's why I'm here to give you some type of education, maybe to enlighten you to go further than even I'm taking you right here, because there's so much out there that we can do. And we have to produced by Black families, like I said. As long as we having children with other, we're winning the game. They have abortion clinics in our neighborhoods and fertility clinics in theirs where they're trying to duplicate, triplicate, and all that other stuff. But we do it naturally. They're amazed on, even with the dancing, they're amazed at how we dance. They're amazed at what we can do with Michael Jordan. They're amazed at our brains. They're made at, Big Ben, Benjamin Banneker, building Washington, D.C. from his mind. That's amazing, folks. And we have to understand that they want us, like I said earlier, it's nothing than a beautiful Black queen to me. You know, you queens are the best in the world. There's nothing like you all out there nowhere. And they always want us to, I can't speak for all the rest of my brothers out there, but they want us to mix with white or mix with something else. And that's what they try to call mixed chicks, mix that. But as they say, one drop of Black makes you Black. But, you know, we have to also interpret that in our minds and believe in that stuff so we can go ahead and we have the responsibility to carry on our race, our children, our children's children. We have to go ahead and put that out there so we can all expand and make out, and not only here, but into the universe. We know who knows what's going to be happening 1,000 years from now, but 100 years from now, we want to have the economic power within our base, like Nadra said, like Latricia said. All of us have to go ahead and Angela, everybody here, Shuna, we're all here to contribute and also multiply and expand on that, duplicate, triplicate. Like Debbie said, you know, it's 2 of them and it was 48,000 people they got in their business. Hey, myself and Shuna starting oars, you know, one day we will be there. One day we will have that 40, but we have to start. I always say you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And we're all doing Black businesses. You know a Black business, as Latricia said, you know, we got our people who, oh, well, why should I buy from you? Somebody's getting paid. Why shouldn't it be your family? If I'm got a travel business and it's over there, why shouldn't we have the family? It's amazing. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you. I'm about to call on you in a minute. So unmute yourself. Sherry, come on in. Sherry, are you there? Can you unmute yourself? Sherry. I know it takes a little time, so I'll keep going. I thank you for, she typed in there. Thank you as always, amazing information. History of the propaganda was eye-opening. Up you mighty race. That's peace and love. That's right. That's Brother Marcus Garvey. All right, Sherry, you there?
Hi, I'm here. How are
All right,
you?
thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
Yes, peace and blessings to everyone today. It was eye-opening, as I said in my note to you. I appreciate everyone that takes the time to be here on a Sunday. Nadra, as always, I love you. Thank you for bringing me in the mix. On so many levels, some of the information I remember hearing, there was a sister out of Washington, D.C. Named Araka Rosarandu, and she gave an Awake lecture series, she called it. And she speaks about how initially she was going to teach children African, well, she didn't like to use African because that was an Italian name, ancient Kemet history. We've been taught from a European point of view, everything that we know. And she wanted to reteach it from an Afrocentric point of view. And as I heard some of the information, like who decided, you know, that we as Black people were not human. And then to use the Bible to justify it, it's diabolical. That's the only word that comes to mind. It's diabolical. And it's still entrenched in us today. And I mean, I'm just sitting here, it's like, and that's why I said, up you mighty race. We got to figure something out. And it doesn't take a lot of people. Dick Gregory always said that the power of one person, you don't understand, one person can start the ripple. Like if you drop a pebble in water, the ripple just continues. So that we each are that pebble, and we just have to ripple. And it can be our family, our biological family, but I am closer to people, just like the sister said earlier, I am closer to people who are not my biological family. And that has just been the nature of my life for many years, for decades now. And I acknowledge that and I accept it, and I don't hold any grudges, peace and love to some of my biological family, but I keep my distance. But we've got to figure out a plan. And I think this is a great group to come up. The travel and the Buy Black, that is definitely the foundation. Health is very important. We brought that up several times during the week. So let's just keep moving in the direction, and everyone stay healthy and positive, and don't be swayed by the programming of the media. We just have to fortify ourselves each morning, and just be mindful of what you let in your consciousness. So peace and love to everyone.
All right, all right. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you for blessing us with your presence. As usual, peace and blessings, as we say. Thank you. I really appreciate what everybody's bringing to the table. You know, it's no wrong or no right. You all are doing the right things by even saying or expounding on the situations that you're in. And, you know, we go back and reach back and each one teach one, tell someone about something. Let them, you know, as I say, as James Brown says, say it loud. I'm Black and I'm proud. Be proud of who you are. Also, you know, we are the people, we are beautiful people. You know, be Black, buy Black, think Black, and all else will take care of itself. If we could just do that, it would be phenomenal. I see you, okay, LaShawn, I see you unmuted. Go ahead, LaShawn.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Coming in from Chicago.
All right.
Everyone has said on here that they're grateful for you sharing this with us each week when there's so many other things that you could be doing, you know, just for yourself. So to take the time out and do this is very appreciative. Just to see how it has been diluted gives you the sense of hopelessness, because it's like, how are we going to reverse all of this? I'm glad that it started out showing us how we got here in the first place from, you know, just like you showed us before in other ones, but in regards to something that's relevant today of how we can relate to it. And then also the fact that of how they're still continuing to do it. And then the solution of it doesn't take a lot of people. As Sherry said, I grew up with all of this, not knowing what was right or wrong, thinking this was the correct information, and knowing that it's not now, it kind of makes me angry because of the simple fact that it just shows the amount of level of what you would go through just to continue the lie that keeps going, and how lazy you are not to want to do your own. And I'm so grateful to have seen, because I've never been to Africa and only gone by what has been shown to me in this continent. And the simple fact that, you know, yes, I could just pick up and move and just live there. You can't even tell that it is Africa just because of the way it is. And it is such a beautiful place. And all the people that were shown in this video, you wouldn't know if they were your relatives or not, because everyone looks just like everybody else. And the other thing that I just wanted to mention was in the video, when she was telling us about how they are slowly trying to infiltrate, putting this back into place by calling, you know, the names, and, you know, well, it's okay if you do it, then why can't we do it? You know, and just slowly trying to put it back into the place of, you would explain why, you know, President Obama, you know, why he's saying education is important, but at the same time, a lot of things you would think would have been done a little bit more differently. And that's not to take away from what he has done or hasn't done. It just opens up your eyes to where we are right now, how we got here, and what we need to do moving forward. I've said before to you many a times, there's nothing wrong with marching, but I'm not expecting them to give me anything. I wouldn't want anything from them anyway, because I wouldn't be able to trust it, just because the level of they will go through to just show you something that is not real. So back to you, Dennis.
And you're so right. I always say, you know, like Malcolm said, why do you think an oppressor will give you something to make you get ahead? They won't. They will always the gruel or the bad. Nadra, I'm coming to you. Go ahead, Nadra, go ahead. Thank you, LaShawn. I'm gonna go back to what you had to say.
I'm trying to do some of this technology stuff. I'm stuck. Okay. It was mentioned, Debbie mentioned that even Columbus got here by mistake, but I think there was not enough emphasis put on the fact that Black folks were already here, Africans were already here when Columbus arrived. And we had been sailing back and forth and around the globe for eons. And so Christopher Columbus did not make a mistake and get here. He had an African navigate him here. And that's even a story that was told when I was in grade school. You know, that was one of the stories, that there was a Black man who was on his ship who navigated for him. So I just wanted to kind of bring that up again, that he didn't just go by mistake. Yeah, he mistakenly got to America when he was trying to go to India. But he was navigated here specifically because there was someone on board who knew how to do that when Europeans didn't know how to do jack. I'm done.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to LaShawn, what she was talking about, you know, as far as the education. You're talking about how W.E.B. Du Bois, you know, he thought the education was all that. Even with Obama, you know, they still didn't accept him as it is. Obama did some things, but if you really look at it, it wasn't the vote that got him in there. It was the, you know, not the little big thing. It was the white people who put them in power. They know what they're doing. They already know who they want. I mean, I've seen behind the scenes and stuff like that, but they know who they want. They know who at this time, it's this time for that person. So, you know, when you look at that and we think we're doing something, one thing that we have not done, which we must do, is have economic power, is what he said. They gave them the money. Now, if we had the money, the backing, and put our money together, we spend what, trillions of dollars a year. If we just spent that money together, I'm coming right to you, LaShawn, we would be so much powerful, more powerful than we are right now. So go ahead, LaShawn. I'm gonna go ahead and let you speak right now. Go ahead, LaShawn.
When I mentioned about President Obama, it was just the fact that, I mean, when he was elected and the whole entire time he was in office, in my mind, I just thought, you know, eventually someone's going to try to kill him. And then as time goes on, you know, I still thought that, just because of just the way things have been in this country. But, you know, seeing this, it's almost like what I got from this is that they were using him as a way to control us by saying, okay, let's give them, you know, when they start to get a little bit more smarter, let's give them something to hold them back that they'll believe and fall for. And I got the impression from watching this today that, okay, we revolved into a level of education where now we're not falling for the okie doke, the very simple things. Now they're being more elaborate. And the elaboration is, okay, let's just give them, you know, a Black face and put them in office and say, okay, fine, we are as one, when it really isn't. But then who's holding the strings, you know, puppet strings behind the scenes? And it's kind of interesting because I remember when they used to, well, just like for the Oscar, it was one year where we got, you know, Denzel Washington and Sidney Poitier, and also Halle Berry that won the Oscar. But then look what their body of work was recognized for compared to all the other body of work that they've done in the past. And the last thing I'm just going to say was that I remember when they would recognize us, it's always for something of, here, perform for us on spot, do it. And we would do it because that's all we've known. But then after the spotlight is gone, you know, it goes back to this and that and the other of negativity. And in regards to what Nadra just said, you know, that it was an accident that he got here. When I was listening to how they wanted to take over, they didn't know what they wanted to do to get to where they wanted to go, because they had already, you know, dissipated the people that had the knowledge and try to take over, and still don't know what they're doing. And till this day, they still don't know. And the simple fact of, you know, had we returned and came back, and, you know, I'm not trying to repeat the video, but it's just things like that that stick out in my mind, that we can't allow that to happen, because that will make it worse. So, you know, once again, they show us as, you know, this and that and the other. And the same thing with the TV shows, you know, as they said, Brady Bunch compared to, you know, Good Times. So it just blows your mind when someone points it out to you and see it, and you look at it a different way with a different set of eyes. And once again, like I said, thanks to you for bringing that to our attention. Back to you, Dennis.
All right, all right. Thank you very much, LaShawn. I really appreciate, what you're putting into here, because, you coming from a place where I understand, hey, you're opening up your eyes as well, because we lived, we all were blinded at one point. Everybody we have to go out and find out who we are and where we came from, because if we keep listening to their dialogue, we're nothing but slaves. I mean, we didn't amount to nothing. We didn't build nothing. As they said, they're saving us from running around the jungles with no clothes and eating each other and starvation. But we have the power to do whatever we want to do. It starts right here in our mind. Change the mindset and we can go further. I see Sherry, your hand is raised. Go ahead, Sherry.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. A couple of things. Columbus, okay, first of all, we were taught that little rhyme, the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, and all of that. It is said that he was on the third boat because he still wasn't sure when he first left Portugal, Spain. He wasn't sure that the earth, they still thought the earth was flat. So just in case, he was on the third ship. Be clear. Also know that Columbus never made it to North America. Okay? He didn't come to North America. He ended up in what is now Hispaniola and the Bahamas, the Caribbean. All right? So once again, his story is always been massaged and regurgitated and given to us and say, here, eat this. And it's been half truths. And there have been a lot of scholars. Please be clear. Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, Ivan Van Sertima, these men, two of which I knew personally, these men died like in obscurity. Dr. Ben was practically living on the street right here in Harlem, with no place really to live. And I used to just see him sitting out front of this store where people would just come and make sure he would eat, for the day. But they have been teaching these truths for years. And unfortunately, it just wasn't the right time. And this is the right time. And once again, I'm glad. So we have to relearn history daily, because we were given a bunch of lies, and we're still, piecing the truth together. So thank you for being an intricate part of this with this platform.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And thank you. And you're so right about Dr. Ben and Ivan, all these doctors and all these people who were telling about our history in the past and we're trying to wake us up. And, they don't live the life that they should have been living because of all the information that they've given out. They've become, they annihilated. Our people didn't like them and the other people didn't like them. So they didn't have anywhere to go. So I commend them all for having the strength and the fortitude to keep striving and keep putting that information out there on a daily basis, all the way until the passing of them. So thank you very much, Sherry, for saying that. I'm gonna go back over to their 000, their 000. You haven't unmuted yourself yet, so I'm just trying to see if you can. Come on and join in. Don't be, it's one big family here. It's okay, it's all right. Unmute yourself. I guess you're shy, I guess, okay. So anyway, what I'm saying is that we have to create our own. We have to go ahead and take responsibility for our own people and strive to move forward on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And if you guys wanted to get that video, let me pull this up right quick. If you wanted to get that video, you can go here and purchase it on this link right there. You can go ahead and, or if you know a Nadra or if you know anyone else, you can go to their site. They'll be glad to help you out with that. You can go there. It's where you spend your money does make a difference. Spend your money with purpose in the Buy Black movement or any Black business, period. You can go there. That's my link there, bmjtag.biz. If you want to get some more videos, Black things or anything like that, you have them there. We also, myself and Shuna, we're just starting out, it's a little, we're working on it. And that's site. We will be getting that out there for you as well. We're getting more, if you know anybody with some products that are Black people or a service or anything of that sort, let us know. Give myself a call or give Shuna a call. We'll be glad to assist. And, you know, people say they want to do something and, you know, how hard it is to get us to do things. We stand in the background sometimes, but we definitely want to make a difference, will make a difference. And we would appreciate, you know, all the consideration that you have, because we're out here doing this for our people as well. And we want to make sure that everyone eats, you know, we want to make sure everyone's happy. And we're going to have it out there. It's like that. I'm going to put up pictures. It should be me and Shun up there. We have come to realize that the only way our race will advance economically is by Black people buying from Black-owned businesses continuously on a massive scale. As a result, we're launching ORS, our Alkebulan Resources, not store, but she called it something else to change it up, but we're still working on it. In order to get millions of Black people from buying Black within the ORS consistently, okay? And there it is, our Alkebulan Resources store, or supplies. That's what it's called. We changed it from store to supplies. We're gonna get that out there. We just want to make sure that you do see some of these things that we will be having coming out, and we want to thank you all for, you know, supporting us as well, because we have to do this together, and that's the way it is. The site is up. It looks something like this right now. Welcome to ORS, our Alkebulan Resources suppliers. As you know, as she said, Africanos is an Italian guy, and it is ancient Kemet and Kush and things like that. So we just want to, you know, this is summer. We'll be coming out. Mansa Musa, the wealthiest man ever, a Black man. We're going to be talking about that. We must wake up, get inside. You know, we want to, you know, be towards our people. You know, that's what we want to do. We want to go towards our people. And, you know, someone else gave, thanks to Brother Delzino and Debbie, I give them, you know, for giving us the site, my site. Shuna was already doing that. Thank her for all the vision that she has, because she is a visionary. And, you know, a lot of things have happened, but, you know, no matter what, I love her tenacity and how she keeps going and never stops, just like the rest of you guys. And the oars up there in the corner, it reminds us of, you know, when you were back in the boats and we were paddling the oars, you know, and we were going in the same direction. So we're paddling those oars going upstream or downstream. We're all moving in unison, and we want to all put our dollars together, put our minds together, put whatever monies that we have so we can build our own schools, be educated as we should be, have all the proper teachings instead of being miseducated. We want it, like I'm giving you this right here. Every time I look up, I'm going to find something else. I'm not even going to say trying. I am going to do this on a consistent and persistent basis, no matter if it's one person or it's no people. It's up to me to go out and help everyone else enlighten their minds. And from that one person, if we become 48,000, 48 million, let's go on and strive to be the best people that we can be, because we are a loving people. We are a conscious people. We are a giving people. We are a prosperous people. We are the best of the best. We've been put to the test, and we're still here. And if we're still not going to rest right now, we're still going to strive and go forward in whatever we do in this lifetime. So thank you all very much. If anyone else has anything else to say, I saw Nadra. I don't know if that was technical difficulties, but Nadra.
Yeah, I didn't know. I just wanted to add something else and stir folks up a little bit more.
Go ahead.
Okay, regarding the vote, I remember when I was in the 4th grade and I was in the civics class, history class, and we were talking, or we were told by our teacher that there was a government. We learned the 3 branches of government, blah, blah, the stuff that people normally get. And she mentioned that there is a government behind the government. So I know a lot of people died for us to get the vote. But in light of all this, and in light of what we've seen today, I'm just asking everyone, number one, with consideration of the vote, consider the possibility that it's already been determined who is going to win. And that even what's happened with Trump in terms of him having COVID, now that there is a lie that is so huge that we think that the lie could not exist, but that there is a lie, especially having to do with how the government is run. And when they tell you something like you are 3/5 of a person, and they keep that there the whole time you're here, we have to look at that differently. So when you are considering going to vote or not vote, or what you're going to vote for, consider that that's another one of the games that's being played to keep people pacified on certain levels. The other thing has to do with the Bible, and I'm not trying to mess anybody up and start some stuff. Actually, I am, right? Okay. But I'm asking you to look into the actual origins, because there's a book called the Book of Coming Forth by Day, which they call the Book of the Dead. There are a number of other really, really, really old books that were generated by Africans. And when you start thinking about the Bible and its 10 Commandments, and you think of the book from which it was derived, and this is any other religion too that you're going to look into it. Keep going back, keep going as far back as you can go. And there were 41 things that we were not supposed to do or supposed to do. One of them included in this was not to waste water. I mean, so what I'm saying is the 10 Commandments are included in this set of 41 or 42 that were designed way before the Bible was derived specifically to do what it has done for us as a people. And think about what you get when you give your children this information or that information, and how they latch onto it, and how they have separated us from our children, separate our families, and what they're actually doing when they have our children, and that's even in college. Because though there's more openings for us and more understanding, more information is being shared, just take this one video that you watched today and consider the plot that there is out there against us as a people for the benefit of the people who are putting out a whole set of lies. And I'm just asking you to inspect whatever it is that you believe and take it to its origin, and then from where that came, so that you can put a different perspective on how you do what you do in your life and considerations. And I'm done probably until next week, if you hurry up and close it out.
All right, and when she said they, I'm assuming she means, I'm just assumption, society. I wrote this down, so I gotta remember: society, religion, politicians, celebrities, media, advertising, television, and society's belief system, or secret societies. And that is so true. I mean, just look at when Obama was in, not that it was always, when he did try to do something, Congress would block it. So it's always something in play. We don't know the game. If you don't know how to play the game is money. The game is having the riches. The game is what Mansa Musa had, the man who had the gold. The game is when you have that, I'm not saying it's everything, don't get it twisted, but it can make our lives a lot easier. We can change things when we do that. When you focus on, when you change the way you look at things, the way you look at things change, and that's what we have to do. LaShawn, you're muted. You have anything to say there?
I was just going to say that it's never been designed for us to be a part of the game to begin with. So if it wasn't designed by us and it's designed against us, then we shouldn't even try to play that game. We should learn it and use it to our advantage. But to try to be a part of the game, I wouldn't want to. Could care less. Back to you, Dennis.
All right. Make our own game. Create it. We are the creators. God created us in his own image, if you want to say, or the universe. So we have to go ahead and do that. Shuna, your hand is raised. Go ahead, Shuna.
A couple things came to my mind since a couple people have spoken. When you said creating, we are doing that while we're creating oars. I raised my hand to say thank you for mentioning it. But we are creating by doing that. And in my looking up people who have product and service, I found Black farmers and Black people who actually make the tissue paper, toilet paper, and detergent and things like that. So I'm looking forward to us being able to purchase those things from our own people. But you guys keep, I'm gonna have this thing out as fast as I can because that's so important for us to keep our dollars within the community and know that these things are available to us. As far as personal hygiene things, I want to try to do the important things like that first. She's trying to put her 2 cents in as usual. But I want, the personal hygiene and the needful things that we need at home, like the detergent and cleansers for our home and stuff like that. So I'm working on it. We working on it. So it's coming. You guys be patient and stick with us. And we're gonna have some information for you guys very, very soon. So thank you, Janice, for mentioning that too. And thank you for doing what you're doing every Sunday as well. And everybody that comes on, thank you guys too, because everybody comments make a difference and I get something out of what everybody says. So thank everybody for even coming on and being supportive. And it just shows how we can't stick together and just in doing this, so that you guys, again, don't let it just be about a conversation. Let us be about us helping each other and getting together and getting started, just even on this little platform. No, this platform, I'm sorry to say little, but this platform right here. All right, that's it.
All right, thank you very much. And with what Nadra said, I'm gonna go to LaShawn, then Nadra. Let me say this right quick, that even with what Nadra was talking about, Shuna also has a training about the Meta-Netzer and the Mayat. If you want to go back farther and farther and deeper, go ahead and look that. I always say, look upon the walls of the hieroglyphics, learn how to read the hieroglyphics. If you really want to know, like you said about the 10 Commandments, we've had that out there before. We did a thing the other day where they had a lady that was 3,200,000 years old, 3.2 million years old. I forgot what the name is. The name is
Adinkara.
Dinkatari or something.
Dinkanesh.
Thank you very much. So we have been here for years, millions of years, and they've just been coming out the last 400 years, and it's not even that, as dominating and with the propaganda and the lies and the deceit. But we have to deal with that. We have to not only deal with that, we have to have a solution for the pollution, is what I like to say. And it's about having economic power. We have to start there, start learning about ourselves first, as we're being awoke right here. But we also have to know that we have to build something, have something in order for our children's children to go on and leave a legacy for them. So LaShawn, go ahead. And then Nadra.
I just had a question. You had shown on the screen the ORS website. You all are still working on that. So there, as of right now, it's not up and to look at just a little bit of it. Is that correct?
It's up sooner. Go to sooner right
No,
quick.
I mean, if it's not ready, I understand. I just wanted to make sure that because I
It's ready. It's ready. Let Shuna talk.
I'm sorry.
Shuna.
It's up there. There's some products up there. The African clothing and jewelry is up there now. That's straight out of Africa. We have a young lady that's actually in Africa and from the Ivory Coast. She makes the items and then sends them over here, and it's specially made just for you. The clothing is specially made just for you. So you measure yourself, send us your size and the material that you like, and we'll tell her what you want, and she makes it and sends it on over here. I think that, to me, that just does something to me inside, to know that everything that we have on there right now came straight from Africa. So to me, that's a great start, and I'm happy with that, and I hope you guys will go on there and check it out. But it's ors.site/ors, and then do /product, and then I'll put it in the chat.
In the chat, okay. And then the other question I had was, Nadra had mentioned about the Meta-Netzer. Is there a link for that as well to be able to take a look at or order or buy?
With the Meta-Netzer?
Yes.
Shuna is doing, again, Shuna, I think she does a training on those. There is also, Shuna, you there?
Yes. Oh my,
Are you
what
still
was
doing
that?
the Meta-Netzer, or?
The Meta Nectar is on Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Time. I'm sorry, Pacific Time.
So that's 11 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, is that also via Zoom as well?
That's on Zoom. I'll put all that on the chat room right
In
now.
chat, okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Back
Thank
to you, Dennis.
All right. Thank you very much. I love us connecting, building relationships, spending our money together, and getting the knowledge that we need. So thank you very much, Shuna, for taking that on as well. I really appreciate that. You know, we all need that knowledge. So thank you very much. Nadra, you're up. Your hands in the air.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to mention that probably you guys even sell the Meta Nectar, right? Or you will be a bookstore for us as well, correct?
We'll be
Yes.
getting, thank you. We will be getting into that. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it'll be.
Okay,
All of the movies that you guys saw will be available on there. All of the Hidden Colors and a couple of Black Friday and a couple other ones will be on there. And she getting frustrated because her show went off. Black Friday and a couple other things will be on there as well. And we're gonna make it where you can actually watch the movies on there. So it's coming up. It's taking a minute, but it's coming. So you guys hang in there and you know. Oh, on the Meta Nectar, yes, you can get the Meta Nectar right now. I think I put that up there, but if not, I'll check and I'll see if it's up there, and I'll make sure I put that up there.
okay. And I also wanted to say that Shuna and Dennis with Oars also have the opportunity for us to draw a picture of our foot so that exactly the way your foot is made, is designed, walks for you, does everything else for you. You can care for your foot. I have very special feet and they need very special care. But you can literally send a picture to them or with your measurements that you have literally drawn, maybe a picture and the drawing so that they can have the exact measurements, and they will send them to Africa and they will make you some sandals so that your feet can be happy, because the vast majority of shoes that are produced for us here are European based. And so our feet were never designed to fit into the shoes that are created by them, and a lot of the other clothes too. But so I just wanted to mention that. And I forgot my other point because I was so happy about you guys marketing about Oars, and I wanted to mention that about the shoes. So, okay, I'm done.
All right. Thank you all for that as well. Next week we'll probably be doing. I'm gonna do 7 a.m. I'm gonna do 7 a.m. I was gonna do the Wonders of West Africa, but I got so much that's going through my head. But I can do them a week at a time. So I'll probably do 7 a.m. and as well. What else am I thinking? I had something in my head. Oh, the trip for Washington D.C. next week. I'll have a flyer up for you guys to see it. If you want to go to D.C., it will be going. Kai, what dates again? I think it's July 23rd to July 27th. It is $75 to get in. The total trip per person is $600. That's take care of all your room and board, your bus tours, it's going to the African American Museum, the Bible Museum, the Smithsonian Institute, also taking a tour of Washington, D.C. If you want to do things at night, you can. All your food is included as well. We have some meals that are taken care of for you. So we'll be putting that flyer up for you at the end of next week. So I'll get that all together for you. And just come on along and enjoy it. I think it'll be a great trip. Everyone, I think, needs to go to the African American Museum anyway, because there's so much there. When I went there, man, it's going to take you, it's 6 floors. It's just going to take you, whoo, it's amazing. I'm just telling you, it's amazing. A life-changing experience. If you think you're wild here, you're really going to be wild there. So thank you all very much. In closing, I say, be black, buy black, think black, Marcus Garvey said, and all else will take care of yourself. I love you. One love, peace and blessings to you all. Is there anyone else that has any closing remarks? Okay, Shuna's putting that up there. I'm going to talk a little bit more so you can go into the chat room and get that if you need it for the Zoom for the Meta Nectar. And she's going to put some more information up there. Nadra, you have something to say right quick? I see-
Nope, I didn't know I was
Oh,
unmuted.
okay. All right. All right. So, yeah, so the thing with the trip in DC, it would be great, spectacular. I'll get to you how you can do it if you want to. You can send me the money through PayPal if you want, on the DMJ gifts at gmail.com, DMJ gifts at gmail.com. If you like to do that, I'll have more information for you next week. I'm gonna lay everything out. If you guys have anything that you guys want to do, let us know so we can promote. That's going to be your commercial. I don't mind what it is. We all have to stick together. We all here, each one teach one. We're here to uplift each other and make each other propel at whatever it is. And like Debbie said, hey, 2 of us turns to 48,000. That's great. If we can do that, it's going to be amazing. And I don't care where you're getting your money from. It doesn't make a difference. Where you spend your money makes a huge difference. And that's what I want you to know. Where you spend your money makes a big difference. So if you see a Black-owned business, Black people, come on out and support them no matter what it is. As I said earlier, hey, don't be judgmental. Hey, give them the same opportunity that you would give another Caucasian, a Chinese or Korean. Give us that same opportunity to show you that we are good business people. And I understand there are some that are better than others, but hey, give them that opportunity. Give them the chance. Go out there and stick by them, because we need that. No matter what business it is, go out there and try and do it not once a year, do it weekly, monthly. Go ahead and buy from a Black business. Support them because they need your support. I'm not just talking about myself, but anyone else out there that has a business, support them. Go ahead, do things, bring out your trips, bring out whatever you have. So thank you all. Did you get everything out there on the Shuna that you needed to get up?
I did copy the chat. Thank you.
Okay, all right, okay. Just making sure. So I want to thank you all. And also, I always say, I'll see you probably, and not probably, we'll go to Africa one day. I hope you all seen how beautiful it is, because it is very beautiful. Seychelles is out there if you want to go to resorts. Even, South Africa, okay, whatever. Zambia, Zimbabwe, Senegal, Mozambique. I mean, there's so many places out there. Kemet, Ethiopia. It's so big and so massive. You go from the south to the north, big, east to the west. So many. Morocco, wherever you want to go. It's just so much out there. And if you do go to not Egypt, but Europe, you'll see so much African and Moorish culture. Oh, I got the majesty of the Moors. I got so much that we got to show. So I want to thank you all. 7 a.m. is a little long for next week, but you asked me, do you guys have it's a 3-hour video? Do you want me to cut it in half and do that? Or should I say, and when we get into next week, wait to see where we are, and then
Go ahead and do it.
do it the whole thing? Wrap it up. It's gonna
Whole thing. And I'm thinking it would probably be a really good idea for you all to put together a trip to Africa. How about that?
Yes, ma'am.
And
Done.
I don't know, maybe run it through Oars or something and then push it into Surge. I don't know, but figure it out. Thank you.
We'll do that. Most definitely, we'll get that together and make it happen. That's one thing we should do. It's what is it, 2020 now? Maybe we can get it together by, I want to say next year because we don't, but I'll say 2022 or 2023 to make it a reality and make it happen. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And we can make it, that gives our people, how we are, give us some time. And now we can get our little ducats together and we can make those payments so we can get there, because it is not going to be cheap, okay? So the flight over there is going to take a while. So yes, I can see that happening. I will make that happen. No, we will make that happen. And thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And I'll get that out to you guys too. So thank you all. As I say, I'll see you on the beaches and adventures of the world with lots of money in your pocket. Hey, with African, I like what we're saying now is, hey, who's there 000? You didn't speak to me at the whole time. I'm wondering who you are. Speak up, say hi, let us see something. But all right, so I'm gonna go through this next week, and we just want people to participate. This is open forum, but we like family. You come in and just treat it just like home. We appreciate you being there 000. But next time, join in, unmute yourself, don't be afraid. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Dennis.
Hey, one more thing. Invite
Yes.
some people with you next week. Bring
Yes.
someone along with you. Let's expand this out a little more.
Hey, the video that you showed, is that available?
Yes, it is. It's on what I showed you up there. You can go on the site up there. Let's see, where was it?
Buy Black?
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay,
It's dmjtag.biz. Okay.
okay, I got it. I wanted to share
Screenshot.
this with my son. He didn't come on, so that doesn't mean he's going to be off. He's going to get off not seeing it. Thank you.
You can screenshot it if you want.
Oh, wait, yeah, let me do that. Oh, shoot. Okay, got it. Thank you.
All righty. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a great week coming up. Make it the best there is. Bye-bye.